Good evening, my fellow Americans. I'm so proud we're listening to Mr. Rush Limbaugh at a time when we have a communist in our White House for the very first time in all American history, and Americans are so worried about what this communist and his San Francisco buddies are going to do. It's so wonderful and refreshing to hear a real American speak to a group of patriots like CPAC. So please sit back and enjoy and be inspired by Mr. Rush Limbaugh. And I just want to say, if you all are liberal and you're watching, show some respect for Mr. Limbaugh and try to learn something, because he could educate you.
We don't want to tell anybody how to live. It's up to you. If you want to make the best of yourself, feel free. If you want to ruin your life, we'll try to stop and make it, but it's a waste. We look over the country as it is today, we see so much waste, human potential that's been destroyed by 50 years of a welfare state, by a failed war on poverty that has We love the people of this country, and we want this to be the greatest country it can be, but we do understand, as people created and endowed by our Creator, we're all individuals. We resist the effort to group us. We resist the effort to make us feel that we're all the same, that we're no different than anybody else. We're all different. There are no two things or people in this world who are created in a way that they end up with equal outcomes. That's up to them. They are created equal to give the chance. So we don't hate anybody. We don't. I mean, the racism in this country, if you ask me, and I know many people in this audience, let me just deal with this head on. You know what the cliche is of a conservative: racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen of America, but if you were paying attention, I know you were, the racism in our culture was exclusively and fully on display in the Democrat primary last year. It was not us asking whether Barack Obama was authentic. What we were asking is he wrong? We concluded, yes. We still think so, but we didn't ask if he was authentically black. We didn't say, as some Southern Christian Leadership Conference leader said, Barack is not authentic, he's not got any slave blood, he's really not down for the struggle, but his wife does. So don't expect the race industry to go away. Southern Christian Leadership Conference, you may not even know this, it wasn't reported in the drive-by media. The racism, the sexism, the bigotry that we are all charged with, just so you across the United States of America know, and you'll see demonstrated here as the afternoon goes on, doesn't exist on our side. We want everybody to succeed. You know why? You know why? We want the country to succeed, and for the country to succeed, its people, its individuals must succeed. Everyone among us must be pursuing his ambition or her desire, whatever, with excellence, trying to be the best they can be, not told, as they are told by the Democrat Party, you really can't do that. You don't have what it takes. Besides, you're a minority or you're a woman and there are too many people that are willing to discriminate against you. You can't get anywhere. You need to depend on us. Well, take a look. Someone has to say this. I am thrilled for the opportunity to say it in my first national address to the nation. I'm going to touch on this in more detail in a moment, but this is just to get you thinking. Take a look at all of the constituency groups that for 50 years have been depending on the Democrat Party to improve their lives. And you tell me if you find any. They're still complaining. They are still griping about the same problems. Their problems don't get fixed by government, and those lives have been poisoned. Those lives have been cut short by false promises from government representatives who have said, don't worry about it, we'll take care of you. Just vote for us. Trying to foment and create anger in a created atmosphere of crisis. He is so busy fueling the emotions of class envy that he has forgotten it's not his money he's spending. He seems to have, in fact, the money he's spending is not ours. He is spending wealth that has yet to be created. And that is not sustainable. It will not work. This has been tried around the world. And every time it's been tried, it's a failed disaster. What's the longest war in American history? Somebody saying the war on poverty? Smart group. Yep, war on poverty. War on poverty essentially started in the 30s as part of the New Deal. But it really ramped up in the 60s with Lyndon Baines Johnson, part of the Great Society War on Poverty. We have transferred something like 10 trillion, maybe close to 11 trillion, from producers and earners to non-producers and earners since 1965. And yet, as I listen to the Democrat Party campaign, why, America's still a soup kitchen. The poor are still poor, and they have no hope. And they're poor for what reason? Well, they're poor because of us, because we don't care.
I know I speak for everyone watching when I say that Mr. Limbaugh has made us proud to be Americans again, even in the darkest days of Obanism, when Barack Hussein Obama, our communist-in-chief, and Nancy Pelosi, our San Francisco values Speaker of the House, are trying to ruin and destroy our country. We have a great American standing up for Americanism. If these liberals would stop killing babies and lying about global warming and hugging trees and about taking Americans' hard-earned money and giving it to bums who never worked a day in their lives, they'd just stop long enough to listen to Mr. Limbaugh. Maybe they'd learn something and they'd be ashamed of themselves and they'd convert to conservatism. Mr. Rush Limbaugh, patriot, great American, philosopher, political thinker, we thank you. So I'll close tonight the way Frank always used to close, with a prayer for America's troops. Lord Jesus, protect our soldiers, especially those in harm's way in Iraq and Afghanistan. May you bring them all home safe and sound. But Lord, may you bring them all home. God bless you all. God bless you conservatives for watching, listening. And to you liberals, I suggest that you convert to conservatism, because in your heart, you know I'm right. And in your heart, you know Governor Palin is right, and you know she's the right choice for America. Thank you, my fellow Americans. Good night, and y'all come back now, you hear?